What's up, y'all? This is Daniel with Pride of the Southland Kennels. Welcome to another video of Southern Bulldogs. Today we're going to be discussing the American Pit Bull Terrier. Stay tuned until the end of the video to understand why the American Pit Bull Terrier deserves our time on the Southern Bulldog series. Now, I believe in one pit bull, and that's the American Pit Bull Terrier, and that's how I always refer to it. I don't use pit bull as an umbrella term. I also believe that the American Dog Breeders Association standard for the Heritage American Pit Bull Terrier is the American Pit Bull Terrier in its truest form. The American Pit Bull Terrier was first registered by the United Kennel Club. UKC founder Chauncey Z. Bennett assigned UKC registration number 1 to his own American Pit Bull Terrier, Bennett's Ring, in 1898. The American Pit Bull Terrier is the product of interbreeding between Old English Terriers and English Bulldogs to produce a dog that combined the gameness of the Terrier with the strength and athleticism of the Bulldog. Make no mistake about it, other breeds have also been used to create the American Pit Bull Terrier. These dogs were initially bred in England and arrived in the United States shortly before the Civil War with immigrants from the British Isles. It was during this time that the American Pit Bull Terrier received its name. Though these dogs have been specifically bred for fighting, they soon become a much larger and invaluable fixture in a developing nation. In early America, these frontier dogs took on an all-purpose role on homesteads. They were responsible for herding cattle, herding sheep, guarding livestock and families against thieves and wild animals, helping on the hunts, and as hog catchers. They were constant companions to the young children who are seen in untold numbers of vintage photos with their family dogs. The American Dog Breeders Association, Inc. was started in September of 1909 exclusively for the American Pit Bull Terrier and continues to be the lead registry for this breed. The residing president, Mr. Guy McCord, along with co-founder Con Feely, were avid fanciers and breeders of the American Pit Bull Terrier and were close friends of Mr. John P. Colby. When the breed gained popularity and started losing its infamy from dog fighting, cases of American Pit Bull Terriers being used as law enforcement and military dogs became quite frequent. The breed became so popular that it was even used in some World War I art representing the United States of America. Speaking of representing the United States of America, let's talk about Stubby, aka Sergeant Stubby, a brave soldier dog of the 102nd Infantry that fought in 17 battles in the trenches in France. In October of 1917, when the unit shipped out for France, Stubby, by this time the unofficial official mascot, was smuggled aboard the troop ship SS Minnesota in an overcoat. It's said that then Private Conroy stowed him away on the soldier's ship, and when found, Stubby saluted the commander. That gesture earned him passes for the rest of the journey. Times were not good in France. The American Expeditionary Force was looked upon as second-class soldiers, not to be trusted without French oversight, and trench warfare combined with deadly gas took a toll on both men and their spirits. Stubby did his part by providing morale-lifting visits up and down the line, and an occasional early warning about gas attacks, or by waking a sleeping sentry to alert him to a German attack. It's also said Stubby learned when bombs were inbound and would warn soldiers prior to the explosion. In April of 1918, the Americans and the 102nd Infantry finally got their chance to prove their mettle when they participated in a raid on a German-held town. As the Germans withdrew, they threw hand grenades at the pursuing Allies. Stubby got a little over-enthusiastic and found himself on top of the trench when a grenade went off and wounded him on the foreleg. Stubby was also gassed a few times and eventually ended up in a hospital when his master, Corporal J. Robert Conroy, was wounded. After doing hospital duty for a while, he and Conroy returned to the 102nd and spent the remainder of the war with that unit. Stubby became something of a celebrity. He was made a lifetime member of the American Legion and marched in every Legion parade and attended every Legion convention from the end of the war until his death. He was written about by practically every newspaper in the country at one time or another. He met 3 presidents of the United States, Wilson, Hardin, and Coolidge, and was a lifetime member of the Red Cross and YMCA. The YMCA offered him 3 bones a day and a place to sleep for the rest of his life, and he regularly hit the campaign trail, recruiting members for the American Red Cross and selling victory bonds. In 1921, General Blackjack Pershing, who was the supreme commander of American forces during the war, pinned Stubby with a Gold Hero Dogs medal that was commissioned by the Humane Education Society, the forerunner of our current Humane Society. Another popular American Pit Bull Terrier was Pete the Pup, from the comedy short series Our Game, which aired from 1922 to 1944. This is not to be confused with the 1994 Little Rascals movie, which is based off the Our Gang series, which used an American Bulldog named Kirshner Screamer, bred by none other than, yep, you guessed it, Rod Kirshner, an American Pit Bull Terrier dogman that also owned American Bulldogs for a short time. No wonder we're all so confused. Now, before we go further into details of Pete the Pup, I want to stop and point out something that I think is very important for both American Pit Bull Terrier and American Bulldog. You have Pete the Pup from Our Gang series that was sired by Tudor's Blackjack, a 6-time winning match dog, and Petey from the movie Little Rascals, which was a painter line American Bulldog. Also notorious for being matched by dogmen, and both of these dogs were so gentle and able to be around kids and people. I don't in any way, shape, or form condone matching dogs, but this goes to show you that even those types of dogs are not always a threat to small children and people like the media portrays. Just because these animals act a certain way towards other animals do not mean they act that same way towards people. Alright, now back to Pete the Pup. The original was Pal the Wonder Dog. Born in Los Angeles, California in 1925, Pal the Wonder Dog will become best known for originating the role of Pete the Pup in Hal Roach's Our Gang comedies, appearing with a natural trademark ring. Yes, natural trademark ring. Sometimes was enhanced with dye during filming. This UKC registered American Pit Bull Terrier would charm the hearts of children and adults alike. At just 6 months of age, Pal the Wonder Dog appeared in The Freshman in 1925, starring Harold Lloyd. He got his start as Tig in the Buster Brown series from the 1920s, later securing the role of Pete the Pup in Our Gang. Pal the Wonder Dog was owned and trained by Lieutenant Harry Lucenay. Though Pal the Wonder Dog was a successful animal star in films, he also happened to be a beloved family dog to Lucenay. Tragically, Pal the Wonder Dog was poisoned in 1930 and died. His son, Lucenay's Peter, succeeded Pal the Wonder Dog in the role, sporting a ring around his eye and the mirror image of his father. The United States of America admired this breed for qualities that it likened in itself: friendly, brave, hard-working, worthy of respect, and they became the all-American dog. From the end of the Second World War until 1976, these dogs remained in the homes of working-class Americans, simply as companions or as working dogs in the woods and on the farm. Sadly, from the time these dogs arrived in the United States of America until present day, they have also been pitted against one another. Dogfighting is an aspect of this breed that I choose not to glorify or discuss in detail. However, at this time I will show some photos of some more modern American Pit Bull Terriers. I'll also add that the dogs we have in front of us today would not be here or be what they are if they hadn't been tested the way they were tested by dogmen of the past. Today, these dogs can and do play a huge role in helping to populate the presence of wild boar, destroying crops and ranches across the country. Now back to why I mentioned 1976. In 1976, Congress amended the Animal Welfare Act of 1966 to address dogfighting, among other issues. This groundbreaking amendment made dogfighting officially illegal in all 50 states. Today, dogfighting is a felony in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Also, another very important event that happened in 1976. The APBT was petitioned by the owners of the breed, who possessed a very competitive spirit, to develop a standard on the breed by which conformation dog shows could be held. They didn't want a standard that copied those of the UKC or AKC, but a standard for those dogs that they own and continue to breed for the traits of intelligence, character, loyalty, and the athletic conformation that the breed was originally bred for hundreds of years ago. Thus, the formation of the APBT, American Pit Bull Terrier Heritage Conformation Standard. Current APBT standard has the dogs weighing between 30 and 75 pounds, with height proportionate to weight. Now, I know the American Pit Bull Terrier is not a breed that was exclusive to the southeastern United States like the previous dogs in this series, but it is linked and maybe even the start of some of the other southern bulldog breeds. I don't know which come first, the chicken or the egg. So which came first, American Pit Bull Terrier or some of these other breeds? I believe it's between the American Pit Bull Terrier or the White English Bulldog as to which came first. Now, why is the American Pit Bull Terrier in this series? Now, we know for a fact that Lana Lou Lane used Colby American Pit Bull Terriers to create the Alapaha Blue Blood Bulldog. It's also said that Sel Ashley from Sand Mountain, Alabama, had pure Colby dogs at one time or another, and Mac the Masher came from him and went on to be a foundation stud dog for the American Bulldog breed. We know that Ray Weaver purchased an American Pit Bull Terrier from Floyd Boudreaux and named her Zydeco Dancer. Zydeco Dancer was bred to an American Bulldog named Felony, owned by John Lichtart. The resulting male from that cross, Onyx Weaver's Blackjack/Lichtart's Jedi, whichever you prefer to call it, became an initial stud dog for the black hybrid bloodline of the American Bulldog, later pushed forward by Don Matthews of Hartwell, Georgia. Joe Painter was said to have crossed American Pit Bull Terrier into his American Bulldogs, but personally denied it. Alan Scott has been asked several times over the years if he ever used American Pit Bull Terrier in his blood, and he has always said no. He did sell American Bulldogs to American Pit Bull Terrier guys, and occasionally rode American Bulldogs with a Terrier man to test the dogs. Alan has also mentioned Maurice Carver before in interviews, and I have personally asked if Maurice ever used American Bulldog in his American Pit Bull Terrier because Carver's Stompanato very much resembles an American Bulldog. I was told no, but I have a feeling that Casey Couturier might have information on that. The reason I say that is because the old American Bulldog review magazines mention Carver blood in some of the American Bulldogs. At the end of the day, no matter what breed your dog is linked to, a Bulldog is a Bulldog is a Bulldog, no matter the color, the size, or the phenotype. If the dog is doing guardian work, livestock work, or catch work, in today's world, that is a Bulldog in my opinion. Until next time, this is Daniel with Pride of the Southland Kennels. Thank you for watching.